let's take you through a very beautiful love story here that's warmed hearts across India. 95-year-old Rama Bhai Kharari finally tied the knot with his 90-year-old partner, Jeevali Devi, in Rajasthan's Dungarpur. After nearly 70 years of living together, they've now decided to get married. They've in fact raised 8 children without marriage. And they had a big joint family, all of it. They really went the whole hog, except for actually tying the knot. The couple never officially married and they decided it that way despite being a very traditional setup. It was beautiful to see. They're surrounded by generations of love and finally they've decided, I do. But beyond the viral pictures and that emotional warmth, of course, many questions now raised over society and its view of love, view of marriage and companionship. Do we overvalue the idea of wedding ceremony altogether? Does a piece of paper really validate love, or is it just tradition? Well, we're looking at more young Indians as of today are opting to skip the big fat Indian wedding altogether. In fact, we have some data there that also reveals this shift. According to a study by Lionsgate Play and Ormax Media, 1 in 2 Indians believe live-in relationships are important before making a long-term commitment. 34% of them say that their parents are now open to live-in relationships. 37% of them think it's okay to live in even post-breakup. And 72% say financial stability, of course, is a must before entering a relationship. So basically, the institution of marriage itself, in a way, is dwindling as more and more youngsters today and families altogether are okay with people waiting a little, understanding their partner. Maybe that wait could go many, many years, but they're really okay to wait and test it out. 72% of people aged 33 to 38 say that it's easier to break up than fix a bond. Well, 53% of women say, move on, forget the ex. 66% of men say that they are still open to rekindling old love. So basically, in a way, this whole one man, one woman marriage bond seems to be entirely changing, shifting. Divorce rate in India is currently rising, especially in urban pockets. The number of divorcees have doubled in the last 2 decades, according to a UN data. Even rural India is slowly seeing a rise in separations. 1 in 4 young Indians say that they don't want to marry altogether. Women are more likely to reject arranged marriages than men. That's what a study says. And many don't even want children. And they're very clear about it. So what does all of this mean for the idea of love today? Is it freer or more fragile? Well, let me quickly bring in Dr. Kirtana for a little more elaborate. Dr. Rachna Khanna, who joins us, a psychologist and founder director of Mind and Wellness Studio. Thanks very much, Dr. Rachna. A quick take on the psychological shift or just the fact that people today have decided that love does not mean marriage. They've acknowledged that and they're now decided to move on as a live-in partner, and when time comes and if time comes, if they want to, they will tie the knot. This whole shift mentally, how would you view it?
Absolutely, and I think you've stated all such beautiful statistics, which are really showing that the institution of marriage by itself now doesn't hold that much of value. There is a mental shift, and specifically coming in millennials and Gen Z, and as we see that there are varied types of relationships that they would like to keep, and they would like to they would like to explore. So from the aspect of post, this is a lot has changed post COVID and during COVID, because people were stuck inside, and there is a general shift in the mindset, and we saw a large number of cases of divorce being filed in. There is a general shift and there is a trend towards dating. So once there is a lot of horizons have opened up, while Gen Z and millennials are very open towards dating, and there are different types of relationships. Like I said, they are exploring relationships like situationships, and then there is live-in relationships. People are also exploring the latest format, which is living apart together. So for various different people, various different types of relationships are working. Marriage by itself is, as you're seeing, even in many South Asian countries, it's a dwindling institution, and that is why today, even in countries like Japan, Korea, we see that they are not getting married. The fertility rates are dropping. So yes, we are seeing that there is a similar mindset happening in India as well, and that is why now, although a live-in relationship doesn't have a legal status, but Karnataka, as you're quite aware, is one such a state which gave almost, they didn't give a legal status, but they also gave a recognition to a live-in
Yeah.
relationship. That's because there is so much of change in the mindsets.
What in your view is love? How do you define love, Rachana? For you personally,
I
and how do you see people looking at love today? That whole theory of marriage itself now seems to be, you know, busted with multiple surveys
so
that claim that people are not prioritizing marriage, and marriage does not equate love.
Absolutely. So, I think people are, yes, I think love is a subject so widely spoken about, and yet there is no specific answer to it. But having said that, the fact that now love has become very situational and conditional vis-a-vis how, we were raised as a generation. If you see Gen X and, you see the generations before that, it was a single partnership, monogamy. Now there is various different kinds of sexual explorations. There is polyamory, there is solo polyamory. There is, people are into very many different types of relationships. And then of course we are talking about homosexual relationships. We're talking about very different kinds of relationships today. So people are willing to explore their sexual side, their sensual side, their side of love, and the commitment. So now, well, any relationship takes a large amount of hard work to maintain, and I see the newer generations not wanting to put in that much of work for the maintenance of the relationship. And of course we have this, we have, now life is a lot about instant gratification. Now whether we order food at the drop of a button on a Zomato or a Swiggy, or we can right swipe a partner on a dating app. So, or we can just call for something right away on a Zepto or a Blinkit. So we've started to, our brains have started to recognize instant gratification, which is not a very good thing. But having said that, that is exactly how the new generation is viewing love also. So yes, independence, freedom,
Agarwal on the legal
talking about
aspect of
self.
it. Dr. Rachna, for the moment, let me bring in Rekha Agarwal, who's an advocate, a Supreme Court, joining us, and also a social activist herself. Ms. Rekha, would you say that a person's commitment to love is any less if there's no legal bond or legal backing?
Can you just repeat what you said? I'm sorry, I didn't get you.
Uh, does commitment mean any less without legal backing in today's day?
That's a very tricky question. Because I do think that a commitment is necessary, and if a legal commitment is there, it kind of psychologically, it kind of binds you down. But as the previous speaker Rachna, was espousing her views, I think that as a lawyer, if I would say that and I put in a number of years now, large number of years in the legal profession and in the family law particularly. So the way the marriages are breaking apart, that certainly love has got nothing to do with a legal relationship that two persons may be having. So if you just got a stamp that yes, so and so, I'm married to, this is my husband or this is my wife, and that just it may be kind of a legal commitment, a legal binding, but love certainly is not guaranteed if a man and a woman are married. And the number of marriages that are breaking apart, as a family lawyer, I would say that just one visit to the family court, say in a metro city like Delhi, and I'm talking not only about the metro cities, but even tier 2 and tier 3 cities, where now it seems that marriage as a legal relationship has really lost its meaning. It is just something which probably your parents get you to do it because that is a societal norm, or because even if it's a love marriage, your parents haven't got you together. But at that time, probably everything seems very hunky dory, and it seems that okay, if I'm married to such and such person, my life is guaranteed, happiness is guaranteed, love is guaranteed. But it doesn't come automatically. Marriage is, it is a lot of commitment, and just a stamp, it doesn't kind of give you that kind of pressure, to give to give a full, in terms of your heart, your soul, your commitment. As I say, you have to give a blood, sweat, and tears to this relationship. And I don't think that in the current setup that we are in, the way society is moving, and as Rashna ji was talking about, the feeling of instant gratification, which is really very, which is not a very positive thing, I would say, is something just like Nescafe. Okay, you make instant coffee, but it's not the same as a brewed coffee, or as a filtered coffee. So I think that
When it comes to women,
personally
I'm really keen on asking. Of course, I could count myself one among those who probably think that marriage is overhyped, and so is motherhood. But Dr. Rachna, I could be one of those few. But looking at the survey numbers, it seems like those few are growing to be
So,
a large number.
not large. So Nabila, just to add to what you're saying, you do know the latest study, which is rotating everywhere, is a study which is saying that by 2030, 45% of women in India are going to be single. And so that means, and a large portion of them are going to do it by choice. So 2030 is not far away at all. And the stats are huge. So, so this is, yeah, so I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot, I would say, rather than cascading downwards, it's cascading upwards. So Gen Z and the millennials have opened their eyes to Gen X also. And now we see Rekha ji would be very aware, because we do go very often to the family courts also. She would be very aware that there are lots of couples who are filing for divorce after being married for 20 years
yes,
plus,
yes, yes. And
which are
let
people
me just
which is Gen Z.
if I may
We'd
just
like
add
to
to what
ask you.
Rashna ji is saying over here, the very term that grey divorces have come up. I'm glad that Rashna ji has brought it up. Now I think happiness, the word happiness, that, oh, I want my own space, I want my own me time, I want my own, I want my own peace. So those things have taken a priority over, over something which a marriage requires. It's a long-term commitment. You have to give your whole into it. I mean, if you're not ready for marriage, if you're not ready to commit, if you're not ready to kind of give the time and energy that a marriage requires, then I think that nobody should get into it. And even now, the concept of live-in relationships also, I think more and more, as a lawyer, as I see that, it is ultimately, it becomes nothing but, I think the love is the first casualty which goes flying out of the window in any relationship, and then ultimately it becomes nothing but, someday it's like a bargain. Oh, you want a divorce, it ends up in a divorce, the mutual consent, huge amount of money is exchanged, or rather given by the boy's
Is
side to
that
the
the
girl.
dissuading factor, Rekha? I was just getting to that.
Absolutely,
Is that
very
the
big
dissuading
factor,
factor that
very
people
big
are
factor.
tied by such
Yes,
legal complications if they actually
yes,
want to break up, and now they're
yes.
all the more sure that a relationship is not meant to last a lifetime,
No, no, not at
and
all.
if yeah, so
I mean, the way as a lawyer, as I see that the number of marriages which are falling apart, and it has got nothing to do with whether it is an arranged marriage or a love marriage, or whether the girl is working. Earlier the thing, if the girl is working, that the marriage may not survive because she's not devoting all her time, to the family. But whether it is a working girl or it is a non-working girl, whether it is old or young, or work, coming from a particular community, this is the so-called sanskari girls that the Hindu girls are supposed to be, I mean, anything at all you say, it could be any religion, it could be any kind of a societal setup that you're coming from. Marriage is certainly, as an institution, absolutely lost its meaning. It's very, very sad, but the kind of commitment it requires, that is not there. We have lost. I would simply say that, we are running short of patience. Nobody is willing to give in that much of dedication, that much of time, that much of energy, that you have to kind of, there are a lot of sacrifices. You have to make that sacrifice to make any relationship work. Why only marriage? But when it comes to marriage, it may be difficult to break a friendship. Before you fall out with a friend, you may think twice, you may even patch up. But once a marriage goes sour, then nobody's willing to kind of, surrender. Nobody's willing to sacrifice. It all becomes me, my myself. What is my happiness? I'm working the whole day long, I'm earning, I want my me time. Why should I be compromising? Why shouldn't my husband be giving equal time? to the child studies, to the bringing up the child? Why shouldn't he be contributing equally to the family work? So many reasons could be there. Girls are now getting stressed out also because of the. I would
So,
certainly say that
you
I
know,
may
for
sound
when
like
you
a very
say girls are
anti-feminist.
getting stressed out, also for
Yes,
what makes me believe here is that it's largely the women's decision, or the survey clearly suggesting that women do not want to have kids as soon
yes,
as one would hope that they would have.
yes.
A lot of women do not want to go in for arranged setup. So it's the
Yes.
woman's decision that seems to be changing the trend here in a way.
Yeah, and if I may just add one more bit over here, that the biological clock will start
Yeah.
ticking once you get married for a girl, but now that clock also I think has stopped ticking, and and gone are the days when the girls will be saying, "Oh, let me get married soon so that I can have a child within the so-called perfect time of having a baby." But now there's so many other options, surrogacy, IVF, adoption. So girls are becoming more and more open
Even in
about
their
it.
late
They're even freezing their
40s.
eggs. The
Yeah.
girls are going and freezing their eggs. It's become something. It's become like a norm. Oh, I've frozen my eggs. I don't have to worry. I'll have my baby
Yeah.
whenever I want it. So there is no such thing. There's no compulsion. There's no compulsion either to get married, and there's no compulsion either to have a child as far as girls are concerned. So I
So,
think in
with
the
this
market
regard,
of
I feel it's a
equality,
woman's world now.
it is definitely, and all power to womanhood.
More power to women folk, no doubt.
Yes.
Dr. Rachna, a final word. As much as we
Yes, so
see,
I think
no,
the
I
only
just have a
thing that
question though.
Geeta.
I have a very pointed question. As much as we see a marriage really losing its sanctity, at the same time, we're looking at a lot more psychotic cases of murder and
Yes. Look
obsession.
at that. What happened today? Yes.
I'm just basically revisiting the stories that I've taken on top of this hour today. Were two murder stories, both a couple basically. One couple, wife murders a husband because she may have had an affair with someone else. Another story where the man couldn't handle the fact that the woman was breaking away from him. This psychotic, obsessive cases leading up to murder. More number of such cases coming to light here, and that's really rattling. All right, we seem to have lost Ms. Rachla's line, but Ms. Rekha, do you want to dive in on that?
Yes, certainly. I would say that you're talking about. I think that it is, as I just said a minute ago, that we have lost our patience, and we're looking for instant gratifications. Rachna ji said. So I guess in that speed that we are all in, the rush to have achievements and targets. So yes, I think your mental health, absolutely, is neglected. Not only your physical health, but your mental health is neglected. And I think that the pressure to get married for some girls, as has happened very recently in the Indore case, if I may say so, bring it over here,
Yeah.
that God knows why the girls even get married in the first place, and then the pressure to,
So pressure
of
from
course,
family members, I
yes,
think,
pressure to
largely to be
family
blamed.
members.
One
Family
knows
members. See,
that youngsters usually find it very hard to say no to their parents, and then
yes,
this is what eventually happens because they're so scared of their parents, the
very
way they've been
unfortunate.
brought up.
Yes,
They don't
yes,
want to reveal details of an affair that they could be
yes.
having. Want to keep everyone happy and pleased, and then try to do this. I'm not basically concluding on this case. A police investigation is currently ongoing, but I thank both our guests. Thank you very much for joining us on this detailed conversation around marriage losing its sanctity, live-in relationships gaining popularity, divorce rates increasing. Well, according to our experts on the panel, it's all well.